Hey everyone, it's Deb Frischman here. I'm on today to talk to you about opening your heart, even when things get tough. And so I just wrote in my newsletter about keeping your heart and open and cracking your heart wide open. And as the heart is the connection to all there is and the alignment, right? And so when we close the heart, we cut off our connection. We cut off that fabulous, beautiful energy that's available to us 24/7. And it's not disconnected. I talked about how I like to picture it like it's coming in a hose, and if you picture there's a kink in a hose, so we're still connected, we're just not getting the energy that we normally could have. And so we've kinked the hose, we've stopped, and then it's like this, almost this jam, like this traffic jam, like this bottleneck, right? And so we want to open the heart, let the energy come down through and move through the body, and therefore, yeah, there's so many benefits to that. I don't even know where to start. First of all, we're going to feel it in our bodies, right? Energetically, we're going to feel the bodies. We're going to feel vibrant. We're going to heal. We're going to have clarity. We're going to have energy, all sorts of amazing things when we keep that heart open. And so the trick is to how do we keep our heart open when we go through a struggle or something comes our way, or maybe we feel something in the body that's really uncomfortable. And so I'm going to give you some examples of my life that has been going on, and so you can kind of hear what I'm talking about, and that you can feel it in your body and maybe relate it to your life. I mentioned last time on my last video that I was on vacation, and I had like 200 bites on my legs, and they were the no Seeum Bites, and I believed it. They're the little buggers that like burrow into your legs, right? And so imagine having those 200 bites on your legs, and is that comfortable? No, it's not comfortable at all. In fact, it's really uncomfortable, and they were burning and itching, and so my job was to just stay present, stay in the moment, feel it, and be like, I am not this body that has 200 bugs burrowed into the legs, and just to breathe through it and be, instead of resisting, what we resist persists. And so I just tried to relax into it, accept it, not try to push it away. And I mentioned that already. And then in January, I turned 52. And along with 52 came a little bit of heat. I will just say that. So a little heat came, internal heat, and while I'm awake, while I'm sleeping, especially when I'm sleeping, it seems to be. And again, I'm uncomfortable. It's not fun. It's a change, and the human part of me wants to go into fight or flight mode and panic and close the heart and shut it all down to protect myself. And the higher part of me says, Deb, just relax into this. It's okay. It's all as well, and just to be and to feel and not to push it away. And so that's been my mission. So notice my other example, it was burning up, and now the second example is I'm burning up, and I feel like I'm just being tested to just let it go and just to be. And when I have found out that when I do that, it goes away. It just kind of dissipates and leaves a lot sooner. And so I can just breathe through these internal heat moments, aka menopause, hot flash, in case you didn't pick that up. And so then my third example is, I've been going through it. It's been interesting. January was, wow, I'm just going to say. And even half of February, I feel like I'm finally coming up for air here. So my third example is I had a cold sore. I got a cold sore. I shouldn't say never. Never is very strong. I rarely get cold sores. I've had one before, I believe. They're not fun. They're not fun. I went to Florida. I burned my lips, and I came home. I went to the dentist, and then they held my mouth open with this piece of whatever, and it jammed into my lip, and then I started to feel this tingling sensation on my lip, and ignored it. I just kind of, I thought I could breathe it away, which I normally can. And then the next day I could feel it. I'm like, I'm getting a cold sore. So I asked my husband, and he's like, yep, you're getting a cold sore. Long story short, I end up with a massive cold sore on my lip, which turns into like 2, potentially even 3 of them, and they're huge. And what's happening? They're burning. They're burning. I'm at night. I'm sleeping at night, trying to sleep anyways, and my lip is burning. And I'm like, oh my gosh! I finally have, the bug thing's gone away, healed, no scars, by the way. Everything's good there. That was a 2-week thing. I'm burning at night because I'm going through this new thing, being 52, and now I've got a cold sore on my lip, and I'm just going, what is going on here, really? And so I'm walking around public, meeting people with this thing on my lip the size of a salt shaker. I mean, it's literally huge, and it's oozing. And if you want to talk about being humble and just going with the flow and just being, that's what I was trying to do. And that third thing kind of pushed me a little bit over the edge. So that was my work, is to keep the heart open, not to close the heart. When you close the heart, it's almost like you're holding your breath. If you can, how that feels when you hold your breath. When you're open your heart, it's like you're breathing. If you can picture like the baby breathing and the natural breath, and how healthy that is. So the heart is open, energy is flowing, even when I'm going through this discomfort, and I want to just close it all down and be done, right? This body down that's just doing all sorts of things. All right, what else did I want to talk about? I guess the word that I'd written down in my journal is having, attachment. We have these attachments to how we were. We don't want to change or shift. And if we feel anything that's not the same, and it's of any inconvenience at all, we go into panic mode, a fight or flight mode, closing the heart, right? And so we're so attached to how things should be, or we want them to be, and we fight and we resist. And we make a lot of meaning out of what is happening. We right away, we feel something, and then we're like, oh my gosh, I know what that means. I have it's going to turn into this, and it's going to turn into that. And we just go into major fight or flight, protecting, controlling, and it is what it is. I had a cold sore. I'm having hot flashes. I'm going to just breathe through this. I'm going to stay in the moment. That's the key. Stay in the moment and not wish it away, and be in the body, embody, and just see where it goes. And it seems to all just shift and move and go away. If I started to push it away and resist it, I'm probably going to have it way longer. All of the things I'm talking about did not last as long as people told me they would last, because I was just so okay with it. And it wasn't easy to be okay with it. I really had to be conscious and work on it. I wrote in my newsletter that the question is what are we here to learn? And so, to be patient, to trust, to understand others. And so I would say for myself, patience is for sure what I was learning, to trust that these bodies that we're in, they're not, the bodies are shifting. The energy that's coming down and through into the earth, 2020 energy, the bodies are shifting and changing, and almost everyone I talk to has something going on different with their bodies. So just honor that and trust that, and and try not to make something of it, and just thank your body for everything it's done. You know, with all the fight or flight and nervousness and all the fear in the world, you know, the nervous systems are going, they're just haywire right now. And so the body's it's gonna show up some way, somehow. So just trust, surrender, and then the third thing that I wanted to mention that I was learning is just, or that I already mentioned, I guess, is to understand others. You know, if it really, really helped me to feel these things in my body, and to understand maybe somebody else who's going through something right now, and to have you know, some really, really deep compassion and understanding towards them. So that could be what I'm here to learn as well. To be more humble, to let go of judgment, you know, and so that thing on my lip that I just had to walk around with, and, you know, to not judge other people, not to judge myself, just to be okay. You know, if our bodies aren't perfect, what are we gonna do? And so that just kind of taught me, you know, and I don't necessarily even see these things on other people. I used to see everything. That was what I did. I mean, I judged my body so much and my looks so much that I would notice everything that wouldn't be, let's say, right with somebody else. And I've really done a lot of work around that, so I don't really see people's flaws as much as I used to. And so maybe it's judgment that we're learning. So I put that article in the newsletter, you know, for you to tap in to your own self. And, you know, where are you closing, you know, where in your life are you closing your heart? You know, what in your life is having you close your heart and to contract and to push away? And by listening to this, can you just get, you know, embody and be grateful for this, you know, this vessel that we're in, and that has done so much for us, right? I mean, I think my body is 52 years old, and I just thank my feet and I thank my legs for carrying me around, and you know, just bless your body and give thanks to your body and keep the heart open. So that's my message today. Thank you so much for joining, and don't forget to subscribe to my Open Your Heart page, because I really, really appreciate it. It's nice to see people here and checking out my message. Have a great day.